So, welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Steve Kiyama, and I'm the owner of Action Coach Western Fairfax. Today, we're going to speak with Will Rohde about his business and his journey into business ownership, some of the challenges, some of the best practices, and maybe share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. So, if this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and get notifications when we drop new conversations like this one. So, Will, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. And please give us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. My name is Will Rohde. I'm the CEO of Quanta Hub 2 LLC. Uh, this is my third time starting the business, so I've had two, failures before, which are
Yeah,
actually a blessing in disguise.
yeah.
I know exactly what not to do, and that's what I did growing Quanta Hub 2. So my background and my journey, I actually had an interesting path. I started off, I actually played pro beach volleyball for 16 years,
Hmm.
competing around the United States on all different beaches and
Hmm.
two-man beach volleyball. So, I started off doing that. Then I took a temp job working for Chevy Chase Bank. And Chevy Chase Bank, I was doing data input, then ended up getting hired as a full-time employee with Chevy Chase Bank. Then they gave me a few opportunities. I ended up learning statistical analysis programming on their financial portfolio, and that's where my whole programming and data analytics background started in my interesting path. And so from there, I ended up going to the Census Bureau, building the statistical files for the Centennial Census. Then I moved on to a company called Cyberdata. I was their director of engineering, running public building service at GSA, large scale business intelligence solution for them. Then I moved into Fannie Mae, had a great education at Fannie Mae. I was a economist type role there, working for all the senior executives. It was when Frank Raines was part of, Fannie Mae, back in the day. And I actually sat in
Hmm.
the middle, 8 different cubes in the middle of all the executives, got to hear everything,
Hmm.
and very interesting path.
Hmm.
From all the Alaskan cruises that they took the mortgage insurers on to talking to the SEC about how to handle derivatives, and where they're like,
Yeah.
we have no idea, we'll figure it out together. So,
Mm. Yeah.
interesting tidbits of, information I gathered from there. Then moved on to started my own company, had a business partner that didn't jump ship from his job. I was basically the sole, employee with the company, kind of trying to run it. And then, since that didn't work out, we closed that shop. Then I ended up, working for a company called Unison, probably the best education I'd had in, government industry. I worked for them for 5.5 years, left as their senior vice president of market development. Helped them grow, significantly over the years that I was there. Learned a ton. I was at,
Hmm.
like I said, the best education in government contracting. Django, was one of my mentors over there around how to,
Hmm.
work with contract vehicles. And, I was
Hmm.
the CEO of the company is, gave me a lot of opportunities. So a
Good.
lot of gratitude for that. Then I ended up leaving Unison to start my own company, Quanta Hub. So Quanta Hub, same type of situation, business partner, and just didn't work out in the end. And then I went to work for Automation Anywhere for a short period of time. As their federal practice leader for RPA software. Then Infosys Consulting for a very short period of time as a senior principal, and
Yeah.
then I went full time into Quanta Hub 2. And so I started 3 years ago. Um, we specialize in artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics solutions, helping the federal government understand how to, approach the executive orders that have come out of the White House around responsible AI development and,
Okay.
transparency, traceability. And we've actually got a platform, that I'm in my other business partner, owns a company called The Cure. And we have come together, and the product Momentum, which is a data engineering, 100% no code AI ML platform. We've come together where I've put it on the Quanta Hub 2 GSA schedule. I'm involved with Carasoft as a partner to Carasoft. We've got it on NASA Soup. We've got it on ITES 2S. We just did a webinar of building a complete end-to-end no code AI cybersecurity threat detection model in under 2 hours and deploying it to production. So literally, we can teach somebody to create their own AI solutions with 10 hours of lecture and 10 hours of hands-on training using our
Wow.
platform. So
Awesome.
kind of my soup to nuts journey, starting off as an athlete and ending up here is, growing a company here around the Beltway.
Awesome. Fabulous. That's a wonderful story, actually. So, what makes your business unique? Why do they buy from you?
Yeah, so I mean, as I mentioned, we're in the hottest industry right now of AI,
Mm,
and really are we have the only platform in the entire industry that is 100% no code from your data
hmm
and from your data prep, your data storage, your data modeling, the AI models, the ML algorithms, to the automation, the ML ops, to your visualization on the front end. Think of it as a complete end-to-end solution in a box where you're
hmm
basically creating it using a GUI interface and no coding whatsoever. But you have the option to code too.
hmm
So that's one big differentiator of our company, and we're basically trying to corner the market.
hmm Good, 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 good. What's one thing you wish more people knew, and which kind of people, actually?
It's a good question because where we're trying to help solve mission problems inside of agencies, and
hmm
I think that the leadership level, trying to decide how they want to approach AI, for good inside the government is a very good target for us because
hmm
we can talk AI all we want, different algorithms, neural networks, computer vision, whatever you want to get into. But
hmm
at a high level, it's really about the strategy. And with artificial intelligence, it's not specific to one domain, right? So you've got, artificial intelligence, which is the overarching, then you've got your different domains, your energy sector, your finance sector, your healthcare sector, and so forth.
hmm
So, I think that you know, trying to get to that level of folks and give them a good understanding and a roadmap how to use AI for their agencies is one of my top targets, and wish we would get to those people a little bit easier than we do today.
Yeah, that kind of begs another question along that same line. Your kind of business, on one hand, if I'm talking to, let's say, a hairdresser, and I
Mhm.
ask about marketing, there's one set of topics we might talk about. If we're talking to a construction company, it can be a whole different set of conversations. In your arena, what are
Mhm.
the marketing strategies that work for you?
So that's a very good question. So we market to, you know, the healthcare industry where we're looking at x-rays and images to look for ailments and, an individual that is not easily seen, by technologies today. And
hmm
like myopia in children, is
hmm
one. So, finance, obviously the automations, the fraud detection and so forth. But where we really shine is that applying it to every particular industry. So for example, we are working with a university out of South Africa called Tut University. It's a technology
hmm
university there, and they actually specialize in um, looking at different holistic healing methods as well as cosmetology, um, as well as cannabis, and taking the THC out of cannabis and finding different strands that can help potentially cure ailments like cancer. And
hmm
we are actually going to be teaching a class. We're working on the process right now, teaching a class to their cosmetologist on what products could make somebody more beautiful using our platform as well. So, it's all over the spectrum. It's a beautiful thing about AI. It's applicable to every single industry. So,
hmm hmm
lots of good topics, but you don't want to boil the ocean either. You want to kind of, stay in a stream or a swim lane to a degree. But the beauty
Yes.
of AI is can take you wherever you want to go and then focus on that area for growth.
Awesome. Awesome. Kind of getting out of the business arena now that we've covered the basics there. Let's kind of
Sure.
get into you, and you kind of alluded to it a bit on the how, but let's talk about why. Why did you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to continuing to work for some of these larger organizations as an employee?
Sure. So, as being a former, athlete, there
Mm,
you got goals. right?
Hmm.
I started playing beach volleyball with a friend of mine. I saw 100 nets in Ocean City, Maryland, and the vibe there was absolutely incredible. And I was like, wow,
Hmm.
I really got to get into this. And then I was taken
Hmm.
under the wing by a couple of pros and then sponsored by a company called Roof Sportswear out of Northern California
Hmm.
and just kept going gold, trying to meet the goals, right? Two
Hmm.
surgeries
Hmm.
on the shoulder, back surgery, knee surgery later, I was still going at it and
Kind
put
of
me
part of the game.
together. Absolutely. And then I started working, I don't have a college education. So I took the athletic route. So, everybody else is going to college. I'm actually playing pro beach volleyball. And
Hmm. Hmm.
so that was the path that I had chosen. And, as I got into organizations and companies, I wanted to grow and I took advantage of a lot of opportunities that were given to me. And I was afforded very good opportunities, hence back to
Hmm.
my Unisant days of starting as their BI practice leader and then leaving as the
Hmm.
senior vice president of market development. So,
Hmm.
um, but it's just the goals in life. What are
Hmm.
your goals? And my goal right now is to build a company and take it to the next level for a sale and
Hmm.
figure out what my next goal is after that. But that's
Hmm.
what I'm focused on at the moment. So I
Hmm.
hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. In a way, it's a toy.
Yeah, in a way, in a
Yeah,
way.
in a way, and an adult toy, but a toy to see what you can do.
Absolutely. And
Awesome.
it comes with, a lot of challenges, a lot of
Uh-huh.
sleepless nights, and, wondering where the next paycheck is going to come from and,
Yeah.
supporting all your employees, making sure that they get paid before you get paid. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
a lot to it that goes along with it. But the successes are amazing too. So that
Yeah.
feeling when you win a contract and, you deliver for the client and the client's
Yeah.
happy about what you delivered, and just
Yeah.
those are, you know, untouchable experiences.
The growth that goes with that is not just about money.
Correct.
It's about becoming the person that can accomplish that kind of stuff.
That's exactly right. And the money comes along with it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Along with
Yeah.
it. So,
It's
if
the
you're
byproduct.
absolutely, if you're out there just to go after the money, I don't know how many successful people do that, right? Everybody
Hmm.
that my peers that are business owners have a passion for their business and have a passion to do
Hmm.
good for their customers and be the best that
Hmm.
they can be. And when you're not in
Hmm.
a room, they're talking good about you. So,
Hmm.
that's a very good trait.
Good, 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 good. Where do you see the business in 3 to 5 years?
So are you talking revenue wise or are you talking,
Not necessarily.
okay, well, where I see the business in 3 years to 5 years, 5 years, I see you probably sold by then.
Hmm.
But developing the culture of honesty, transparency, and being able to deliver, right? You get a bunch of good people together, and then, also you want to build the company with your employees, and you want to reward your employees for being there with you. And
Ah.
much more fun, sharing $20 million with 10 people than standing alone with $20 million. And that's my
Mm.
perspective. There's people that have different perspectives, but that's how I feel.
That kind of leads into that next question that I had is how would you describe your leadership style and has it evolved over time?
Absolutely. I lead by example. So,
Hmm.
it took me a long time to understand how to manage people, right?
Hmm.
So, sometimes you get frustrated and, why doesn't somebody pick up on things quick enough? And then you just got to
Hmm.
sit back and say, wait a second, not everybody learns the same way as myself or somebody else. So,
So true.
got to be patient with it. You got to
Hmm.
deal with a whole bunch of different, uh, different levels of folks. But,
Hmm.
myself, I, I trust in my leadership and my people that I have working
Good.
for me. So, that's important. I mean, I'd rather hire lot smarter people than me, which is not hard to do. So, and let them do their job. So that's,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Kind of along with that, what's been your approach for hiring, recruiting, retaining people in your team?
Yeah, no, we offer good benefits packages and, like
Hmm.
I mentioned that, everybody likes their salary, right? But
Hmm.
everybody wants a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And the way to
Hmm.
do that is give them some employee stock options, right?
Ah,
You let
okay.
them be
Yeah.
part of the company and growth with the company. So,
Some skin
uh,
in the game.
Yeah, give them skin in the game because if they want to
Hmm.
make, X amount of money, give them the opportunity to. And
Uh-huh.
same business development folks. I've worked for
Hmm.
companies in the past where they cap off how much money you can make. And, I think that's ridiculous because I tell you, if somebody's in making $50 million for me and wants $2 million out of that, I'd be a fool, to cap them off at, oh, well, you can only make 350, $400,000
Yeah.
max. No, I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to do 100 million, go for it. I'm going to pay you for it, right?
Right.
Keep
Right. Right.
it.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
that drives them to succeed as well.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. So we covered a lot of ground so far today. So for those who are watching, I highly encourage you save this, come back a few times. We're picking up a few really interesting nuggets here. So as we head towards wrapping up, I got a few rapid fire questions. So this is the off the top of the head kind of things.
Let's do it.
What's the key to success for you?
Stability.
Huh, okay. You want
And
to
okay, yeah. Stability for me and my employees, right? That's a success. So everybody's comfortable at the end of the day and you don't have to sweat the little things.
you're not worried about being laid off tomorrow.
And I don't want my employees to be worried about that either.
Awesome. 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 What's if you met an aspiring or brand new business owner this afternoon, what would be your one piece of advice for that person?
Listen to people and don't be hard-headed and think you know it all.
Ah, good. Yeah, good. Open-minded. Yeah.
Absolutely. And poll industry, work with other, business owners,
Hmm.
and evaluate, but also be cognizant of the fact that, nobody's going to spill their dirty laundry to you either and tell you the bad stuff that happens usually. So you want to be cognizant of that not everybody out there is full of successes. The
Mm.
failures actually make you more of a leader than actually successes.
And that's where we learn. We don't learn nearly as much from successes as we do from people use the word failure. I like to translate that to data.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. It's data. And
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
the term failure to me is not really in my vocabulary, but I mean, it's a
Yeah.
term that, is universally used for not making it. But I look at it the flip side. I mean, failures are successes because like I
Yeah.
said, if I didn't
Hmm.
fail a couple times building my other couple companies and learn from that, I
Hmm.
would be in business that for going into the third year at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome attitude. What's one book you're reading now or have read recently that's made impact, and what was that impact?
that's a good question because I haven't read a book in a long time, to be quite honest with you, because I read proposals all the time or federal contracting. So, if you read through 200 pages of proposals, it's
Uh-huh.
the last thing you want to
That's
do
a
is read
book.
a book. Right? So
Fiction sometimes.
to be quite fair with you, I mean, that's the best answer I have for you on that one.
Hmm. Hmm. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, if you had to choose one area of your business you could improve immediately, what would it be?
I would say that the branding of the business,
Hmm.
I think, because it's taken me a while to come up with what we are really good at, right? And I think that's an evolution of a business. So,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
started off on the data analytics, world and just, staffing and, just building the business that way. Then you kind of develop your competencies and, you know, getting out to market. But, I guess it all comes with the territory. Over 3 years, now we've really honed in on what we're 100% good at, a differentiator around artificial intelligence. And it just takes time to do it. Um,
Hmm.
so I guess if I were to say where we could improve, it's probably the marketing around that,
Okay.
getting it out there in industry. We've done really well, don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
there's always room for improvement in every area.
Always, always. Yeah. What's most inspiring to you today?
Richard Branson.
Ah, yes. That's an awesome example to follow, isn't it?
I just, I mean, I watched the guy and, the other one I've watched long years too, and I've tried to learn from, but it's very hard to learn from this guy is Alec Karp from
Mm.
Palantir. I've always had a
Hmm.
fascination with Palantir since their early days in the three-letter agencies and, their analytical, tools that they have built over the years, and they keep it
Hmm.
so locked down and so, tight to the chest when it comes to the code base that
Hmm.
it's always been fascinating. But the growth that Palantir has done over the past 10 years is
Hmm.
absolutely phenomenal in our industry. But Richard
Awesome.
Branson on the other side, how can you not like that guy? I mean, the guy is just he's all over the place. He's all for his employees.
Yeah,
He does a lot of good things in industry and for charities as well. So, you know,
there is so much to learn from there. So much to learn from. All right, so we're at the very end. I'm going to ask you the last two questions, and they're
sure.
connected. How how can others learn more about you and the company, and how can they get in contact?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are Quanta Hub 2, and they can get in touch with us through our website.
Mhm.
Or, my personal email is will@quantahub2.com. And I'm happy to entertain anybody that wants to reach out and have a conversation, whether it be partnering, whether it be advice, whether it just be having a casual conversation where we could learn from each other.
Fantastic, fantastic. Will, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights. This has been a fantastic conversation. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, me too, Stephen. It's been great. I appreciate the offer.